You might not want to book your next cruise on these boats. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 mysterious ghost ships.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at various ghost ships throughout history and ranking them based on notoriety and creep factor. For those unaware, a ghost ship is a ship which has been found floating on the open water without a crew. These ships need to be factual, so myths or urban legends will not be included, no matter how tantalizing they may be. Number 10. Governor Parr. Governor Parr was one stubborn schooner. She was built in 1918 by W.R. Huntley and Sons, but lasted only 5 years. In 1923, she was significantly damaged during a storm, which resulted in the deaths of 2 crew members, including the captain. After the survivors were rescued, the Parr floated through the Atlantic before a salvage operation was launched. Unfortunately, Parr stubbornly broke away from her tow and was left to float the waters forever, becoming a menace to navigation. We guess everyone just sort of shrugged their shoulders and forgot about it. Its current whereabouts are unknown, although it's most likely at the bottom of the ocean. Number 9. Zabrina. Zabrina was built in 1873 and initially served as a trading boat within the waters of South America. By 1917, she was under the command of a Captain Martin, who took her on a trip to Saint-Brieuc, France. However, she was soon found grounded on the coast of France without her crew and with minimal damage, leading many to speculate as to what happened to the men on board. The popular opinion is that they were captured by a German U-boat, which later sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Zabrina was left to float, and it eventually found its way to the French coast. Number 8. Jian Seng. There's nothing more terrifying than seeing a gigantic and rusty 80-meter-long tanker floating in the water. In 2006, the Jian Seng was spotted southwest of Queensland, and when authorities boarded the empty ship, they found that its identifiers had been removed, its name was painted over, and its engines had been inoperable for some time. However, they did find a large amount of rice, indicating that the Jian Seng may have been a resupply ship. Everyone was left flabbergasted. After no one claimed the ship, it was taken out to pasture and sunk. Number 7. Resolven. Finding a long-abandoned ship is one thing. Finding one with its lamp still burning is something else entirely. The Resolven was found floating in 1884 between Baccalieu Island and Catalina in Newfoundland. The ship's lifeboat was missing, the lamps were still burning, and an entry in the logbook had been written only 6 hours earlier. The accepted story seems to be that the inexperienced crew had hit some ice and fled in a panic on the lifeboat. While the ship was salvaged and relaunched, the crew was never found. If only they stayed with the ship. Number 6. MV Joyita. After a storied history, including a stint in Pearl Harbor, the MV Joyita landed in the control of Captain Dusty Miller, who used it as a fishing and trading boat. Joyita left from Samoa on October 3, 1955, with 25 people on board. The trip was supposed to take 48 hours, but it wasn't until 5 weeks later that the ship was found, partially submerged in the water. After an investigation, it was discovered that its distress beacon was faulty and that the boat had sprung a major leak due to a corroded pipe in the cooling system. Its 25 occupants are still considered missing. Number 5. Kaz II. Kaz II was just a little catamaran found floating in Australian waters in April of 2007. When authorities boarded the ship, they found that everything seemed normal. A laptop was on, the engines were running, and food was still on the table. However, its 3-man crew was nowhere to be found. A search and rescue party were sent out, but found nothing. After an investigation, it was concluded that one man fell overboard while fishing and another dove in after him. Before the owner could send out the life buoys, a swinging boom knocked him overboard. The 3 then drowned as the ship quickly sailed away without them. Number 4. Sayo. Fair warning, this one's pretty gross, and also a little sad. In 2016, Manfred Fritz Bajorat's personal yacht, the Sayo, was discovered in the vicinity of the Philippines. When fishermen boarded the boat, they discovered the mummified corpse of Bajorat, who was hunched over the ship's radio. After an investigation, it was found that Bajorat had lost his wife to cancer and was sailing around the world by himself. Sometime during his voyage, he allegedly suffered a heart attack on the Sayo, and the warm, salty ocean air helped to preserve his body aboard the ship. Number 3. SS Baychimo. If the last entry was the saddest one, then this one is probably the creepiest. Known as Alaska's Phantom Ship, the Baychimo was a trading vessel that traveled around Canada's Northwest Territories. You can probably see where this is going. The Baychimo became stuck in pack ice on October of 1931, and after it was loosened in a blizzard, its crew decided to take the cargo and abandon ship. Since that time, it simply floated throughout the waters of Alaska, and its ghostly body has been sighted on numerous occasions, most recently in 1969. The Alaskan government began a search for the ship in 2006, but nothing has been found. Number 2. Carroll A. Deering. The Carroll A. Deering is a popular story amongst conspiracy theorists and Bermuda Triangle advocates, but let's stick to the facts for now. The Carroll A. Deering was transporting coal from Virginia to Brazil with a small crew on board. They completed the delivery, but on its return voyage, the abandoned Deering was found aground off the coast of North Carolina. Its navigation equipment, log, and 2 lifeboats were absent, as were the crew's personal belongings. While the consensus seems to be that the ship suffered a mutiny, the investigation was closed in 1922 without an official answer. Hence, the conspiracy theories. Number 1. Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste is undoubtedly the most famous ghost ship in history. In 1872, the ship was scheduled to travel from New York to Genoa with over 1,000 barrels of noxious denatured alcohol. However, the Canadian ship De Gratia found the empty Mary Celeste on open water between the Azores and Portugal. Aside from some minor damage, the ship was fine, although its papers, navigational equipment, and lifeboat were missing. Various theories have been put forth over the years as to what happened to the crew, such as a sea quake releasing noxious fumes that forced them to abandon ship. A giant squid attack is also a popular theory. Maybe all that alcohol was calling him. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.